All right, let's dive right into this explainer and discover exactly how you can stop renting your AI and instead build a totally subscription-free content engine directly on your own hardware. We're talking about taking the power back and putting it right there on your desk. Think about your setup for a second. Right now, almost every major tool out there charges a monthly fee, runs on someone else's server, hits you with strict rate limits, and, maybe worst of all, sends your private ideas through a massive tech company's cloud before you ever even hit publish. Now, for casual users, that might be completely fine. But if you're actually trying to scale your output, that whole rental model gets old really, really fast. Because here's the harsh reality when you're relying entirely on the cloud. If you're producing content at a serious volume or maybe testing NDA client work that legally cannot be leaked, those constraints literally become roadblocks. Watching your subscription costs stack up across, 5 different apps and then hitting a sudden usage cap right when you're on a roll at idea 12, it's incredibly frustrating. It completely kills your momentum. So to solve this, we're going to build a local alternative step by step. We'll quickly cover why you need to stop renting, the software required, how to pick a model that actually fits your machine, building the engine itself, and finally, the honest limits. Okay, Section 1, stop renting your AI. Let's look at the core mindset shift required for high-volume creators and professionals. Once you get this set up locally, it basically gives you 3 massive superpowers. First, zero API bills. It's totally free to run indefinitely, whether you generate 1 single draft or 1,000. Second, total privacy. Nothing you type ever leaves your computer, which is absolutely crucial for unreleased launches or sensitive client data. And third, the absolute freedom of zero rate limits. You can literally batch process 50 video ideas overnight without some arbitrary usage cap shutting you down. But actually, wait, we need to bust a major myth right off the bat. Local AI does not mean you're getting the exact nuance of frontier cloud models for $0. While open models have closed the gap brilliantly on drafting, summarizing, and structured writing, they do still lag behind the heavyweights when it comes to deep reasoning and final polish. Accepting this trade-off is your very first step to success here. You are trading top-tier reasoning for infinite scale and privacy. Moving on to Section 2, the local AI software. Let's talk about the model runner, the actual tool you need to load and run this AI on your machine. In the current landscape, there are 2 primary doors in, and they serve very different purposes. Think of LM Studio like your visual showroom. It's fantastic for browsing and testing out models in a really clean, user-friendly chat interface before you commit to them. Then you've got Ollama. Ollama is the raw engine you move to later. It runs as a background service with a local API, which makes it absolutely perfect for scripts and automation. So the best practice? Find a model you love in LM Studio and then deploy it in Ollama to automate the whole shebang. Section 3, picking your local model. Because let's be real, hardware matters just as much as the model's output quality. 0.5 gigabytes. That is your magic number. The golden rule of thumb here is to budget about half a gigabyte of VRAM per billion parameters of the model, plus a little extra breathing room for context memory. You do this to ensure the model actually runs, instead of temporarily turning your laptop into a very expensive space heater. And here are your choices based on your specific setup. If you have a dedicated GPU, Qwen 3 is your strong, well-rounded default for general quality. Now, if your laptop completely lacks a dedicated GPU, Microsoft's 5.4 Mini is engineered exactly for that kind of ordinary hardware. Or if your pipeline needs to analyze visuals, like charts and thumbnails, Gemma's Edge variant handles vision tasks brilliantly using only a modest amount of memory. Seriously, I cannot stress this enough. Leave your ego at the door and start small. An 8 billion parameter model that actually runs smoothly easily beats a 30 billion parameter model that freezes your machine every single time you query it. Efficiency is the entire goal here. Okay, Section 4, building the content engine. Now for the really exciting part, wiring this all together. We are going to map out your entire automated workflow across 4 distinct sequential stages: idea generation, drafting, repurposing, and the glue. Breaking tasks down like this prevents the model from getting confused and guarantees much higher quality output at every single step, rather than just using one giant messy prompt. First up is stage 1, idea generation. You feed the local model your niche and your past 10 titles, and ask it to generate 20 fresh angles. That ensures you don't repeat yourself. Then comes stage 2, drafting. You turn one of those approved ideas into a fully structured outline. You dictate the hook, the main sections, the call to action. By forcing a rigid structure, your quality stays perfectly consistent across a whole batch, even on days when you just aren't feeling particularly creative. Stage 3, repurposing. This is literally where local models shine because this is volume work, not nuance work. You can turn one single long-form script into 5 short-form hooks, 3 social captions, and several thumbnail options in a single automated pass. This is where your productivity just skyrockets. And finally, we have the glue. This is where you use a workflow automation tool like N8N or a custom script if you're savvy to call Ollama's local API. Your automation tool talks to Ollama exactly like it would a cloud API, meaning an idea seamlessly becomes a draft and then becomes repurposed content all entirely in the background. No manual copy-pasting required. Section 5. The honest limits. Before you rush off to completely uninstall your cloud apps, we do need a quick reality check on the actual limits of local AI right now. Because, look, this is absolutely not a set-it-and-forget-it magic trick. Local models will absolutely hallucinate wrong facts with total confidence. Their attempts at humor might land flat, and their structures can feel a bit robotic without a human touch. Plus, the physical hardware required to run them comfortably, it isn't cheap when you compare it upfront to a simple $20 a month subscription. So, the crucial takeaway here is that you must always maintain a human checkpoint. Treat the output of every single stage in your pipeline as a strong first draft, never the finished product. The AI does the heavy lifting. It busts the blank page, but you supply the soul, the accuracy check, and that final polish. If you're gonna try this, my advice is to start with just the repurposing stage to get an easy, immediate win before trying to automate the whole 4-stage pipeline. The technology is shifting so fast, and local power is becoming incredibly accessible. So, looking at your workflow today, are you going to keep paying rent on your own ideas, or are you ready to build your own engine?